Hey everyone, this is Sovhiel bringing you another retrospective gameplay. This time I'm showing you Juggernaut, but I'm going to be doing something a little bit differently. I'm not going to show you the entire gameplay, it's not quite as exciting. I happened to random first, and then our teammates ended up choosing a bunch of carries even though I random a carry. So we have a very weird team setup. Our lanes are okay, except that now I'm kind of put in a weird position. Invokers are great mid, solo mid. Morphling is a great safe lane, and that means poor Silencer has to go top, but then he gets the support of Keeper, and I have to support Morphling. And Morphling is a good laner. He's ranged, he has an escape mechanism. So, meanwhile, I'm melee, I don't really have an escape mechanism. I have magic immunity, but so I end up giving Morphling the lane, trying to let him get solo experience. And meanwhile, what I really want to show you with this video is pulling, because not a lot of people utilize pulling enough when you're in the safe lane, because you can accrue a very significant advantage just from pulling. So I'm going to pull up hero level.
The battle begins.
Here I check the rune, and because since I'm basically going to dedicate myself to pulling, since I'm a farm dependent hero and I'm not going to be able to contribute that much in lane as a melee hero, I don't really have anything else to do but check the rune and then wait for 30 seconds for when the neutral creeps spawn. And then at 45 seconds, I'm going to pull the camp, make sure it's double stacked. Because that way, if the neutral creep camp is double stacked, it's going to kill off your creeps, your lane creeps that you pull into it before the neutral creeps all die.
Denied.
Here I just harass Fen a bit before I go pull. So at about, sorry, it's not 45 seconds, around 52, 53 seconds is when you want to pull the creep camp. And so all you want to do when you're pulling, when you're stacking, is you want to make sure that the neutral creeps are not in their camp. And see, you can see hounds spawn there. And now it's double stacked, so there's two separate neutral creeps in that one camp, and then at 15 seconds I'm going to pull. It can also be at 45 seconds, but depends on which one. So there we go. And now what this is going to accomplish is get Morphling has solo farm against a solo Sven, which is good. And then meanwhile I get a little bit of solo experience, plus all of these creeps that die to neutrals, Sven gets 0 experience for them. Even if he were standing like right next to them, he gets 0 experience, none. And here I just keep pulling, manage to pull the Alpha Wolf and grab the next creep wave for our lane. Now this does put a little bit of extra pressure on Morphling, because even though it's great that the creeps, I'm denying creeps are not getting put in the lane, which means there's more enemy creeps in lane than our creeps, which means that creep wave gets pushed toward our tower and Morphling gets put in a relative safety, while Sven has to come deep into our territory in order to fight anything. So that puts a little bit of pressure on Morphling. He has to kind of tank the creep wave a little bit, and our tower takes more damage than it normally would. But this does deny experience to Sven. It gets me extra experience, and then we'll have a natural experience advantage when I actually go into lane and go for a kill. So as you can see, this creep camp is basically a single camp at this point, but I pull it anyway, which is a little bit of a mistake. I probably should have just pulled it again, but it might work out. Nope, almost stacked it inadvertently. So Phantom Lancer finally comes to lane. Now it's 2-on-1, a little bit scary for Morphling, but until Phantom Lancer can spam his Q ability, he's actually not much of a threat. So he needs a little bit of farm in terms of like a Soul Ring or Tranquil Boots or Treads, whatever, before he can actually be a threat. So at this point, I'm level 3, Sven's level 3, Morphling's level 4. Even though it's a one-on-one situation, Morphling's definitely doing a better job. And of course, since Phantom Lancer hasn't been in lane, he's level 1, and we can take advantage of that experience advantage. and we get first blood. Part of that was Phantom Lancer being so late to lane, but part of it was my pulling too. And so that just kind of gets us off to a good start, even though we would normally be a very bad lane pair, Morphling and Juggernaut. And so now I just kind of have to wait around. At 4 minutes, the neutral camp respawned, but I can't take advantage of that because it's not stacked yet. So what I do here is I just wait, kind of guard Morphling, and see if Sven and Phantom Lancer decide to get aggressive, and if they do, although Phantom Lancer went top, but if they do decide to get aggressive, then I can punish them for it, come around behind. Of course, the creep camp's not pulled up, or the creep wave's not pulled up, so I can't really take advantage of that. And I just decided to go stack instead, because the more creeps I can keep denying, and then the better. And then the creep wave will once again, instead of being pushed up against their tower like that, which is bad for Morphling, he can't get any CS, and it's going to be hard for him to get an experience range without putting himself at risk, especially against double stunners in terms of Nyx and Sven. I'm going to try and pull the creep wave back to our tower.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
So here, pulling at 15 seconds again. And this is more experience that normally these lane creeps would of course be actually in lane, and this would be experience that Sven and Nyx would benefit from, but instead I'm making sure they don't get any of it whatsoever. Whenever Morphling has to tank the creep wave like that, I make sure that I pull the creep wave past the tower, make sure the creeps aggro on me and not the tower, and that way our tower takes less damage than it normally would from doing this strategy. And again, I don't really want to take that much experience from Morphling, I just want to go back and pull again. I think at this point I was probably, oh yeah, I wanted boots, and I was thinking I might go aggressive a little bit, but the more movement speed you can get on Juggernaut, the better, because then his Blade Fury, you can keep up with people while you're doing Blade Fury. If you don't have the movement speed, then people are just going to walk away from you. There's not much you can do. But if you do have the movement speed, especially if you can get boots before them, then you can really punish them. So I'm just going to go ahead and pull again. At this point, Nyx is 4, Sven's 4, I'm 4, but Morphling is 6. Because basically he's getting solo experience. So we're definitely getting a natural experience advantage from this lane. Here Nyx does the smart thing and he tries to interrupt my pulling. That's definitely a danger when you're pulling, especially when it's night and you have low vision like that, is the enemies going around the jungle like that and trying to jack some of the experience you're trying to deny them. But at the same time, that's also a very precarious position for them, because they're close to their tower, they're close to your tower, and they're very far away from their own tower, which is why we get an easy kill on Nyx there. They lurk around too long, and we're able to punish them for it. Kind of a wasted Blade Fury, but I just wanted to do some damage to Sven, make sure he had to go back, or at least use some regen. And so yeah, that's really all I want to show from this. Besides that, once we get to like this weird team fight stage, we kind of do a bunch of like looking at each other across mid, and then I just go into the jungle and farm a lot, get my Battle Fury. I think I'll fast forward toward the end of the game. Alright, so at this point, Morphling's pretty farmed. Morphling's level 25, I'm level 22. We've managed to use our experience, leverage our experience to our advantage, and also get some good farm. And you'll see it ends up paying off. Morphling does a lot of damage now. Sven's actually manages to tank a lot of my damage, which is unfortunate.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower has fallen.
In terms of last hits, Morphling's doing very well. I'm doing alright. But I've gotten some kills, Morphling's gotten some kills.
Dire's ancient is under attack.
They're doing this team fight, but I know we probably can't win the team fight without Morphling, so I decided to take out last of their racks while they're distracted.
Dire's ancient is under attack.
Bit of a mistake for me, like as soon as he attacked me I should have immediately popped my BKB, but I didn't. Luckily I have phase boots so I can get away from him. His Dagon isn't that high yet.
Under attack.
And neutral creeps are just kind of going to do the job. Kind of a wimpy end, but I'll let you guys see the score screen at the end.
Dire's ancient is under attack. Radiant victory.
Look what we found!
So 10.5, not horrible. 347 gold per minute, 493 experience per minute. Pretty good, considering I was playing a support in lane basically, although I did do a lot of farming throughout the game. And considering our Invoker did nothing. But it turned out okay despite having too many carries. And I really attribute a lot of that to that pulling that just made our lane, what would normally be a crappy lane, a lot easier. Okay, so I didn't illustrate this technique in my actual matchmaking game, so I figured I'd just show you guys in a separate video. What you can do is, if you don't want to wait that whole extra minute to stack the camp after that first really easy stack at the beginning of the game, at 45 seconds, you can do a single pull like I'm doing right now.
Very well.
And normally this is bad because you'll end up pushing away from it. But what you can do is eat this tree right here.
So you say.
And then just when these creeps are about to die,
On it.
you pull in the other creeps on this creep
moving.
camp. Just about to die.
As you wish.
And there we go. And so if you do it too early, oh come on creeps, you gone. Alright, good. Thank God. If you do it too early, then the neutral creeps won't aggro on the lane creeps and they'll just go back to the camp. If you do it too late, then the lane creeps will have already started going back to lane, and you won't get the double stack. But as you can see, these guys are getting quite low. They're not really going to push the lane that much.
Your death approaches.
It's actually a pretty difficult technique to pull off. Oh yes, that can't even respawn too. Awesome. So it's actually a pretty difficult technique to pull off because
Very well.
you need such precise timing, and it requires different timing depending on which of the neutral creeps are in the camp. But you can definitely do some more constant pulling than you would normally be able to if you had to constantly, wait for the camp to die and then wait for the next minute for it to respawn and then wait a whole nother minute to stack it. Is that centaur gonna screw things up? I don't know.
As you wish.
So this is a nice technique to learn. It's actually, like I said, it's pretty difficult. But
Your bottom tower has fallen.
it's definitely quite helpful.
It's an honor.
Centaur's pretty tough, so I'm gonna wait a little bit.
I bring my blade.
There you go.
Yeah.
And so that's just a little technique you can use. Makes pulling more of a challenge, but it also makes it more constant and denies more farm on a consistent basis than like every 2 minutes or so. So yeah, try it out. Works really well. If you can get the timing down for it.
I go. A fine idea. My power increases.
Yeah, give it a try sometime.
So you say.
Alright, thanks a lot for watching, guys. And I hope you learned a lot from this video. Bye.